All right. Last of Us take uno.
We never take more than one takes anymore. We're just too lazy.
Take one.
All right, welcome back to HM and Big E Review Things. We got our permanent panelist Rob with us. We are going to talk about The Last of Us, the new HBO show. It's concluded now with all the episodes finished. We've watched all of them. So we want to deep dive into it. Rob, what did you think about the show generally?
I loved it. I mean, I am going to make a bold claim right now and say this is the best video game adaptation for a movie or TV show.
Ooh, 2 categories. Are there any good ones that come to mind, movie or TV show at all?
No.
Okay, that's even a second very bold claim.
I mean, like there was a couple that we kind of searched online. Arcane, I heard was really good, but it's an animated. It was an animated show. I
watched it. It is a very good, but the problem is I don't know anything about that world. I've never played the video games, but I heard it's an amazing show, right? And I watched it. So yeah, any others that come to mind?
No.
Ooh, there's a lot of bad ones that come to mind.
Yeah.
Right. So probably the latest would be Halo. That comes to mind in terms of the bad category. Yeah, but what is it about this show that particularly made it so good? Is it okay if you didn't know it was a video game adaptation, you'd still think it's a good show?
Mm-hmm. Well, to be honest, it really comes down to just the overall characters. Because like when you're looking at a video game, what keeps you engaged in a video game? The gameplay, the mechanics, right? But then when you're watching something, what keeps you driven in terms of like continuing to watch? Mm-hmm. The story, the characters, right? And I think The Last of Us TV show does a really good job focusing on the characters. And it really helps when you have good actors too, right? To make it believable and then driving the whole story forward and keeping the audience engaged.
I mean, there's a few things that I can think of that make this good. Number one, the source material itself. Everybody loves a video game. It's on the top, 50 best video games of all time kind of lists. Number two, I think, is the way they've adapted. They were smart about what stories to adapt, how to, extrapolate more, and how to lessen maybe the parts that weren't so interesting. And a lot of video game adaptations don't do that well. They kind of highlight the wrong stuff, and then they downplayed everything else. Like a good example is Halo. Halo's just about a big human being shooting monsters, but in that show, which was like 10 episodes, they probably had 3 fight scenes, and the rest were just political dialogue and that kind of stuff. And they didn't understand how to adapt anything, right? Even if the source material was amazing, they didn't know how to adapt it. And lastly, I think a good point is they cast it well. Like how much of this show do you think rests on the fact that it's Pedro Pascal?
It's hard to say, but I mean, I'm just going to go half and half, 50-50, like 50% on the casting and 50% on the material, right?
Did you play the video game?
No, I did not, but I did watch the walkthrough on YouTube.
Well, what do you think about, why do you think this video game is so good, though?
I think it's just a story, and it's a different take on the zombie apocalypse, rather than, fighting off zombies. And I'm pretty sure we're in spoilers right now, right? Like, did you notice that while you were watching, that you didn't really see any zombies towards the end?
No, in fact, I thought there were going to be a lot more zombies, but it seemed like the human characters were, it's really a story about what happens to humanity, the evil of humanity that comes out as a result of this plague. So I think that's another smart move that they did. I think Walking Dead doesn't, I haven't seen as many episodes of that. I've only seen the first season. It seems like it's that show's really focused on zombies killing people.
Yeah, because when I was talking to my sister today, actually, and she finally watched the finale, her reaction was, where are all the zombies? And then she even felt like this could be more of a drama series than an actual, zombie film where you see a lot of like, action and like deaths and stuff and suspense and thriller. She's like, no, this could actually be just a drama, kind of like when they name a good dramatic show. For All Mankind, right?
Yeah. At the core, we're all looking at human connection stories, right? Good characters, good stories, good character arcs, growth in characters. It's not really about the circumstances they're in. That's just a platform setting up what these good characters are going to do, right? So any good show is like that. Any bad show usually focuses on all the superfluous stuff, all the fighting and all the gooey stuff, and then the human characters, if they're weak or the stories are bad, people just can't connect with the show.
Yeah. And I think also for me, another reason why it resonates with me is because I'm not a gamer, right? And generally when I play games, I usually play games for the campaign because I'm actually interested in the story.
Right.
So the fact that now they're just telling the story in an HBO series, that's why I'm so engaged, and that's why I really enjoy it. Another thing that I also liked was, just the game cues, right? For example, do you remember Doom with The Rock? Okay, so one of the game features is the first person shooter mode, right?
Yes.
Remember, and that happened at the end, and the audience was like, "Oh!" But it's like you have to wait for so long, and did it really pay off?
No, definitely.
No, it did not pay off, right? But then for here, they took small components from the game. Like, for example, when Joel looks into his backpack, he'll get down on one knee, put the backpack down, and then open it.
Right.
And these are like the small video game cues that you see that they adapted, which, hey, I can see why people who play the video game like the show is because they take those small cues. And they also did like some side-by-sides on YouTube where, here's the truck scene at the beginning, side-by-side, and it's like, it stays true to the game, right?
See, I didn't know that. I thought some of the stories, particularly I think episode 3, where it's really focused on a couple, I thought those were sort of added on to make this story better. But I didn't know that these were actually characters in the video game. So it was quite impressive. The other thing I noticed, which is what I like about this series a lot, is the attention to detail.
Yeah.
Like there's that famous scene where they touch the giraffe, and I thought they're for sure going to find a CGI giraffe, right? It's the easier way to do it, but they spent the effort getting a real giraffe in and filming with a real giraffe. So I think HBO Max has done an incredible job with some of the shows recently with the attention to detail, putting money into the show, whereas some of these other networks, Disney Plus, have really taken a few steps back with the Mandalorian looking like it's a cosplay convention, right? So I'm like, what is going on here? This is clearly a green screen with really cheap costumes. But The Last of Us, I think, looks fantastic. Yeah. And Pedro Pascal, obviously, he's on a climb, in terms of he's everywhere. He's doing two of the biggest shows on TV, plus some of the biggest movies out there. Yeah. So him lending his kind of name to this thing and being the main character helps. I think Bella Ramsey does a great job as well. Some people kind of, gave her some negative feedback, really silly things, but I think she did a great job.
No, I like Bella Ramsey as well. I think she did a great job. She made Ellie believable, right?
Where's this show going to go, Rob? I don't know anything about the second game. They want to expand to more and more.
Yeah,
right?
So I ended up watching season 2 or part 2, and it was not good. And if they continue with the story, I'm probably gonna check out.
I think they're going to be smart and make a course correction. I heard some of that too. I kind of think that with the stellar season 1, they should make a course correction, and they could really build this world to be bigger and bigger, to be 4, 5, 6 seasons. I think if HBO Max continues that, I hope so. They do that.
I know, as long as they don't give the John Connor Terminator Dark Fate treatment.
Someone comes back in time to kill Pedro Pascal
right at the beginning.
Well, anything else, Rob? I mean, it's definitely a good show. I think I don't think there's anybody that really would disagree with us.
I think this is a show for everyone. Well, maybe not the kids, but like it's definitely a show for most people, and I think you'll enjoy it. And I really like some of the themes they talk about. Like in the end, the question is whether Ellie should have survived, right? Mm-hmm. Does Joel have the right to choose between Ellie and killing everyone else, kind of thing, right? In order to save all of humanity. Like a lot of questions come out of there where we can have a discussion. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Joel did the right thing by killing all the Fireflies just to save Ellie?
I knew
knowing that she holds the cure. And Neil Druckmann did say that had they been able to extract her brain, it was 100% chance.
Oh, are you sure? Wasn't that the whole point? Was he was saying maybe?
No. The writer himself said that that was the decision. 100% chance they would have found a cure if they took her brain.
Well, I would have probably sacrificed her. but you know, I know why he did that. And apparently, it's a very hard level in the game. You have to kill everybody to get to her, right? I know it was a great climax because it is that's another thing that it did well. Sort of moral questions.
Yes,
right?
moral questions.
In the face of adversity and insurmountable offense and problems, like what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because like the way I see it is, the needs of the many, right?
Oh,
Outweigh
yes.
the needs of the few or the one. But if that's my daughter, I don't know, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting thing about this show. I know. I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I think it's the basic platform is that, look, humanity's broken and it's sinful and deep and deeply dark, and what do people do in those circumstances? So it's really centered around Joel and Belly Ramsey's character Ellie. So I like it. I really enjoyed the show. I knew nothing about it going in, and a big sign was my wife watched it with me, and normally she hates zombies.
Yeah.
She hates killing, violence. She really did not like John Wick 4. so this is something that she enjoyed, which is quite telling.
Yeah, and my wife liked it too.
Okay.
All right.
Well, tell us what you thought.
Want to give her a rating?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid A.
Yeah, this is an A movie for me as well.
TV show.
Sorry, A TV show.
I think it probably could get an A plus, but I just want to see where they go in season 2. Like if season 2 blows me away, then the whole show could end up being an A plus. But I don't know. I really hope that it is going to be as good as season 1 or better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, let us know what you thought about The Last of Us. I think most of you probably agree. Let us know if there's something we missed or some part of it. Why do you think this series works so well? Were we accurate? Was our assessment fair? Okay, so until next time, keep watching things, and we do appreciate.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, we all are on Apple Podcasts as well, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and a little milestone. We just hit 10,000 views, which is quite a lot for this little channel. We're having fun. We do have day jobs, but this is just a fun thing that we do. We love watching movies, TV shows. I hope you do too. Thanks so much.